Welcome to the ASN studio. I'm Ashley. This is the second meeting between UNT and ODU. The first game, ODU beat UNT 61-50, but the Monarchs haven't fared well in Texas, losing to both UTSA and UTEP earlier this month. UNT is hoping that same streak will continue in the second half of this game before they head on the road to play the Miners and Roadrunners. Time to take a look at what other games we have coming up on ASN. So many impressive coaches mentioned in that, including Pat Summitt, who we saw here in Bartow yesterday, and might be seeing again today watching her son Tyler. The score right now is 41-30. USM is beating UAB. We're going back to the ASN studio with Ron and Mac after this. See how Raging Cajun baseball fans feel about the regional coming to Lafayette. I'm KTC's Ashlea Bullington, and I'll have fan reaction coming up. 10 children. She's been competing since she could walk, and that competitive nature has translated onto the court for the Miners. 11 of the Miners' 12 wins have come from her putting up 11 or more points, and she's averaging over 15 points per game. That's not all, though. She's still competing with her brothers and sisters, as she has a 4.0 GPA in the classroom. Thanks, guys. Back to you. Being an athlete, you take bits and pieces of things you learn from coaches to shape your game. You take what works best for you, and you mold it into something new. The same goes for coaching. Coaches are constantly taking components from other coaches and implementing them into their game plan. Earlier in the season, we caught up with Coach Jeter and Coach McCallum to ask them about their biggest coaching influences. It's a proud moment for any parent to get to watch their son accomplishing their dream, but an even prouder moment when you get to see your son drafted into the MLB. Walking onto a D1 program is never easy, and Middle Tennessee has one player that is dedicated to Coach Insel and wearing the Blue Raider white and blue. Welcome back to Bartow Arena. It's currently 56-45, ODU's beating UTSA. And I am sitting here with a very, very special woman, Martina Sims, Jenny Sims' mom. Martina, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Hello. I'm really feeling good today. We're winning by a nice margin, so I'm a little bit more relaxed today.
That's good. I was going to say, talking to you yesterday, you said that Jenny was a little bit stressed out. How awesome is it to see your daughter as a sophomore doing so well, especially in conference tournament? I mean, she's had 2 double-digit nights.
It's really awesome. I'm really happy that she has fought through so many adversities from high school on, and for her to build her confidence, to trust in herself and believe in herself, and to take over as best as she can. I'm proud of her. I told her she's a much better woman than I was at her age.
And we were talking earlier about just kind of her upbringing. I mean, did you ever think that she would be able to be as good as she is in what she's doing right now?
No, actually, I never wanted my daughter to play basketball. I didn't. I wanted her to get into the girly stuff. Not that this is not girly, but I wanted her to do the modeling stuff. But she played with her sister, and my husband, it's in her blood. So he played at UVA. So when she really wanted to play, I really wanted to get her with the best girls that possibly could help her get better at her game. And she's just taken flight since then.
And how proud would you be as a mom to see these girls make it to the finals?
Awesome, awesome. I'm blessed. We are all blessed. We are very happy, very proud of her. As yesterday's game, she wanted to sit out. The last 2 minutes and 30-some seconds left. And I was like, no, you got to fight. We drove 13 hours to get here. So I wasn't ready to go home. So I'm very proud.
And thank you so much for joining us, and good luck. Back over to you guys. An intense rivalry is being renewed tonight. Our Raging Cajuns are taking on the LA Tech Bulldogs. These 2 teams haven't met since 2004, and while no player on the field has competed in this game, the fans are still ingrained in Louisiana's second longest standing rivalry. 1924 was the first time the Bulldogs and the Cajuns went head-to-head on the field.
Terry Bradshaw broke the conference passing record, and we still beat him.
And 2004 was the last time on the turf. For the first time in a decade, this long-standing rivalry is being renewed.
I think it's an obvious rivalry. We've played, I think, Louisiana Tech more than any other school in history. If I'm not mistaken, this will be like the 86th meeting.
On the field, the players might not know much about the tradition of the game, but the fans are ready to resume this battle on the pavement.
Going back to bragging rights, who's the better mid-major out of the state of Louisiana? You know, is it University of Louisiana Lafayette? You know, is it Louisiana Tech? You know, the Cajuns or the Bulldogs?
It's all about the bragging rights in the Battle of the Boot, as LA Tech has won the last 6 games. The Cajuns are looking to break the streak and win the state tonight at home.
Being it's an in-state rivalry, you kind of like to try to get under each other's skin.
The rivalry will continue to grow as they fight for predominance in the state of Louisiana.
It's still early and there's been forecasted some rain, but that's not going to stop this Louisiana showdown from happening tonight at 6. For now at Cajun Field, I'm Ashlea Bullington, KTC TV3. College athletes are public figures in their communities. That means that their social media accounts are constantly being monitored and read by fans. With Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram being such a big part of today's society, the 49ers athletic department decided to be proactive in teaching the basketball teams the do's and don'ts of social media. In Lafayette, this weekend Super Regional has a house divided. I'm KTC's Ashlea Bullington. I'll have more on this story coming up. You're playing against Charlotte. Can you kind of talk about what you scouted today and how your game plan is going to be for tomorrow?
We just played them recently, so was just looking forward to getting down and seeing, you know, they shoot the 3 really well. They get up and down the floor and they press, and so we're going to have to make sure that we go at the 3 and rebound and take care of the things that we've been doing all season.
And this is your first time in Bartow Arena this season. Y'all practice here this morning. What's the feel of the team here, and how do the girls feel coming into tomorrow's game?
Just really excited to be here. It's our first Conference USA tournament, and we're just excited to be here, looking forward to getting on the court and playing.
And Chastity Gooch, she's an All-American candidate. Can you kind of talk about her a little bit, what you've seen from her this season?
Just an unbelievable leader who has always, no matter what game, has stepped up big for us, rebound, make shots when we need them. She can shoot the 3, she can score on the inside, and just a very awesome player to coach and very fun to watch.
Also, you have Alexis Gavon. She's right up there with Chastity on the court. Kind of her cohort, I guess, as you would say. Can you kind of talk about what you've seen from her this season as well?
Yes. Well, they're best friends, and they just really complement each other very well. Alexis is our energizer. You know, she does it all. Same thing, can shoot the 3, very athletic, can get to the basket and score, and is just our team leader, just one of the players that everybody looks to.
And this season, your team is topping the conference. Can you kind of talk about what you've seen from them that you haven't seen in past seasons?
Well, I think just the biggest thing is we just continue to keep growing. We have veterans, as you talked about, Chastity and Alexis and Ileana Johnson, our seniors, have been really good and led this team. And we've had an opportunity to continue to keep growing, so it's been really fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow at 5. We're going out to the ASN studio at the BJCC right after this. Job seekers enter their information to the website through LinkedIn or manually. Then, by using a series of algorithms similar to the ones used by dating websites, job seekers are immediately matched to jobs that fit their skills. We wanted to test to see how hot a car could get in 30 minutes. So, we've set up a thermometer, and what started at 80 degrees is now almost 118. Hi guys, earlier we spoke about how Tyler Summit has some amazing mentors, and I'm here with one of them now, Coach Billy Moore. Billy, can you talk about just advice that you've given Tyler this season?
Well, it's easy. He's so talented. You know, when he wanted to get into coaching, when people ask me what kind of coach he was, it was a very simple answer. I said I saw the same things in him that I saw in his mother at the same stage. So he's very gifted.
And you talked about Pat a little bit. Can you kind of talk about the relationship you have with Tyler and his family?
Well, I've always been very fortunate. They've been my second family, and he calls me his second mom. So he's my first son. So that's the way it works.
Thank you so much for your time. Guys, back over to you.
Billy Moore, former Olympic coach.
If you don't like to wear Charlotte colors in Charlotte, they will throw you a penalty. In order for the person who stole gas to have been able to turn off the pump and take it from the station without anybody knowing, they would have had to have a master key and master code to this specific pump. This is something investigators say only the owner and workers who install and test the pump should know. Good luck to y'all tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. We're going back to Ron and Mac out in the BJCC right after this. Halftime in Norfolk, and there's your score. Louisiana Tech has traveled up from the Bayou to take on ODU. La Tech is in a heated battle with Western Kentucky, UAB, and UTEP for the top spot in the conference standings. But the Monarchs are still in the hunt. Welcome to the ASN studio. I'm Ashlea Bullington. Speaking of the hunt, both teams feature sharpshooters leading them on the hardwood. For La Tech, it's Raheem Appleby who's leading the team in 4th in Conference USA in scoring. Averaging just over 16 points a game, the 6'4" senior is not afraid to drive it to the net. Right behind Appleby in scoring is the Monarchs' Freeman. The junior guard is leading the Monarchs to one of their best seasons in program history. The second half is going to be a good one here on ASN. La Tech is trying to fulfill their preseason promise that they will dominate conference play. And ODU is tough to beat in the Ted Constant Convocation Center. Speaking of good basketball, we have even more games coming up for you on ASN.
This season marks 40 years of Southern Miss women's basketball, and head coach Lee McNellis has been a part of the program for almost half of it. In her 19th season with the Lady Eagles, she's still one of the most impressive players in Southern Miss history. Ranking among the top 10 players in 7 all-time stat categories, she was inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame in 1997. Kay James, who was Coach McNellis' coach in the 80s and currently the team's reporter, before today's game said that Joy was one of the most aggressive and competitive players she's ever coached. That Coach McNellis has taken her hard style of play and implemented into her coaching plan. Coach James said Joy is a joy and she loves her Southern Miss Lady Eagles with as much passion as she loves the game. And that's the reason she's been a part of the team for 19 of its 40 years. Back to you guys. Michelle Clark-Hurd, Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
In Lafayette, we're painting the town red for homecoming. I'm KTC's Ashlea Bullington, and coming up, we find out why businesses are giving their larger-than-life support for their Raging Cajuns. The Blessing of the Fleet was first introduced to the festival in 1953, and ever since has been a shrimping tradition. And to the shrimpers here in Delcombe, it's the only way to properly begin the shrimping season.
The United Way's Day of Action is normally just the first Friday of the summer, but because summer started on a Saturday, they decided this year to have 2. In Opelousas, I'm Ashlea Bullington, KTC TV3.
Welcome back to ASN's Halftime Show. I'm your host, Ashlea Bullington. In his 9th season coaching the Roadrunners, Brooks Thompson has led his guys to their first ever NCAA postseason victory in any UTSA sport, captured 1 league championship, made multiple appearances in the title game, and his players have broken more than 20 school records. He says he brought a new coaching style to the team that he picked up as a player.
Southern Miss in the backcourt, Agassi for the Roadrunners.
Conference USA has become a competitive basketball league. Players and coaches know that to win the title, it takes more than just talent.
Hunter on a breakaway, comes down the middle.
There's great coaches in our league, and it's not fun watching film before we play them, knowing that we're going to go play them, because they're great strategists, but they also have good players as well.
But the competition is something that Coach Thompson is excited to be a part of. The former first-round NBA draft pick in 1994 has had many coaching influences.
But then, Bill Self, being an assistant there, was, I still get an opportunity to talk to him and try to learn from him as much as I can. And then in my pro career, there's no doubt it was Jeff Van Gundy, who I still get to talk to and learn from.
Basket was good.
Even though coaches like Jeff Van Gundy have made a large impact on his coaching approach, none have been more significant than the man that was there in the beginning.
Well, there's no doubt it's who I played for in college with Eddie Sutton at Oklahoma State. He's definitely been the biggest impact on how I feel to coach, and I thought he was just a tough old man as a player, but then I went back and worked for him as a coach and really saw how much he cares about his players and how into everything he is and what a manager he is, and that really made an influence on me.
Taking what he learned from Coach Sutton, Thompson continues to use his hard-nosed but fair approach.
I think as a coach, you've always got to be as fair as you can to all players. It's just great. It makes you feel good as a player, and you want to do everything you can to give them everything you have.
We'll see how Coach Thompson's strategy works with the Roadrunners' 11 new players. That's all we have for now. Thank you for watching ASN's Halftime Show. We're sending you back down to the Riverwalk in San Antonio after this. There's your halftime score in Tudor Arena as the Mean Green have come down from Denton to Houston to play the Rice Owls. Hope you're enjoying today's matchup, and welcome to the ASN studio. I'm Ashlea Bullington. The Owls entered their first season with head coach Mike Rhodes, who came from a successful Virginia Commonwealth basketball program. Coach Rhodes has brought with him a winning attitude to the Owls.
Sometimes when you come to a program and it's down on its luck, the players don't want to change or they don't care enough. That's not the case. these guys they've been awesome. They have been listening. They really care. They are changing the culture every day and demanding their teammates to change with them. And that's how you get to go somewhere where you're not sure you could have gone.
And it's the Mean Green's third season under head coach Tony Binford, coming from Marquette. These two coaches are looking to turn things around for their programs by not only winning a conference title, but making an NCAA tournament run.